Hello, guys. Another day, another stack of books, book review, whichever. Hi. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to my channel. My name is Hannah. I go through quite a few books per week, and I like to use this platform to share my opinions on the books I've read, opinions on books I do want to read because that list is forever growing, and just general like a general overview of my reading experience on different books in different genres, etc. So if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to the family. If you like the video, please hit the subscribe button below and like this video because it really helps my channel. And let's get into the books. So today I have 3 books. 3 seems to be my number, so I will go through 3 different books, 3 different genres, and I'll give you my opinion on what I think of these titles of these books. So the first one is Bad Blood, Secrets and Lies in a Silicon Valley Startup by John Carreyrou. This is actually based on a true story. It's about the company the rise and fall of the company Theranos and the leader of the company called Elizabeth, who was listed as a billionaire, then Forbes struck her off the list when some very disturbing details about the company came to light. So this book is the play-by-play of what actually happened during that time, and let me tell you, this is a gripping read. And considering it actually happened, I just don't understand how they got away with the things that they got away with in this book. Theranos is a med startup. It's a med tech startup, was a med tech startup that promised to do a bunch of tests that previously couldn't be done on one drop of blood. Like they were supposed to run all these tests on one drop of blood and then send the results to hospitals, people who had the tests done, and then a diagnosis would be made based on these tests from this one drop of blood. But the whole entire thing turned out to be a hoax. But it was such an elaborate hoax that by the time they discovered, investors had sunk so much money into this company, and it was a lie. It was a lie, and I still don't understand how they got away with it for this long. So this one is gripping, honestly, guys. It is so engaging. There's so many times I stopped and wondered, okay, how did they not see this? Or can you imagine being an investor in a company, probably like sinking in your life savings for it to just be some elaborate scheme? Um, there was like little to no remorse from the people who started the company. It's just, oh my goodness. I would read this again, actually. It's a kind of book you can read again and again and again, and there are lots of lessons to learn, especially from the internet startup community and the business community in terms of like do your due diligence. Don't just ride the wave of it's a new company, it promises to do ABCD. Make sure they actually do what they say they do. And if there's something iffy going on, probably like if you just have a bad feeling, probably don't go with investing millions, billions into a company. So this, honestly, of these 3, this was my favorite read. I don't know if guys can see the cover. It's a bit bright. Yeah, that's how the cover looks. So this is my favorite read of the 3. Put that there. Then we have Jordan B.Peterson, 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos. I don't know about you, but I have listened to so many of Jordan B.Peterson's speeches. I haven't read so many of his books, but I've listened to so many of his speeches on YouTube, and he's a kind of person I would like to have at a dinner table and have conversations with. I'd like to pick his brain because he's quite intense and he just has a different outlook on things, and he's very philosophical about things. So I'd really like to have a conversation with this man one day, hopefully. I would call this, what would I call this book? It's like a guideline for young people on how to live a good life. There's some real gems in here. I remember going through. I'm actually going to see if I did underline. Yeah, this was in the foreword where they say our human capacity for evil in the name of good and psychological mystery of self-deception. How can a person deceive himself and get away with it? An interest we share. The human capacity for evil for the sake of evil, the joy some people take in destroying others, captured famously by the 17th century English poet John Milton in Paradise Lost. I think that was an excerpt from someone who's writing the forward who had interacted with Jordan B.Peterson and was saying the things that they have in common, like the conversations that they've had, where they had where they shared things that they had in common. The thing they have in common being their outlook on the human capacity for evil for the sake of evil and the joy some people take in destroying others, etc. But the book itself, it's like a guideline on how to live life, how to treat other people, because there's chapters in here like treat yourself like someone you're responsible for helping. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not who someone else is today. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. Set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. Pursue what is meaningful. Those are different chapters. Tell the truth or at least don't lie. Be precise in your speech. These are like chapters in the book, and each chapter he gives like he starts off usually with like some anecdote, a philosophical one, and then tries to personalize it for the reader. So would I read this again? Probably probably in a few months I would read this again because it's just a kind of book that has such good gems. It has there's wisdom in here. Um Especially to do with like your own self-discipline, personal integrity, disciplining your children if you have a family, and what's truly important in life and what we think will make us happy versus what actually makes us happy as human beings, and just how to be an overall good person. There are some chapters I really enjoyed here. There's some chapters I didn't find applicable. So take what you need from this book and just keep it around because it has some really good gems. I would actually recommend this for this generation because I feel like sometimes we're a bit lost. All right, and the last one in my list of books is Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's quite I got the large book so that I could underline and highlight things. This I would say I don't say it's a typical self-help book, but it is in the self-help genre, and it's like the title says, it's about forming habits, but in a very like it's a very precise step-by-step guide of how to form good habits and how to unlearn bad habits. It's as practical as it gets. If you read this book and you consistently apply the knowledge in here, you will improve. Like your life will improve. And I like how there's emphasis on small changes, hence the name Atomic Habits. There's emphasis on like small incremental changes and consistency in small incremental changes and how that compounds over time to form the kind of habits that you need to be a good person in general. So I don't know if I would reread this. I find that if you probably just as a reminder, but not as something I would regularly read. If I feel like I need like to refine my habits, I'd probably pick it up, but not something I'd consistently refer to. There's some books that are quite enjoyable, and as I go on in this channel, I'll probably share my favorite books. Those I pick up over and over and over again, and I have like throughout my life. So I don't think this will be one of them, but it is a good book in terms of self improvement. If you're into the self help genre, you'd probably like this. Yeah. So those are my three books for today. Um, which was my favorite? Bad Lad. This was definitely my favorite. I probably will read this again. I really enjoyed this book. It's very gripping. Honestly, if someone picks up, anyone has read this book before, please comment down below and let me know what your experience was. And if you are like me and wondered just how could they gotten away with this for so long. My second favorite is 12 Rules for Life. Like I said, there's some real gems in here. It's just, if you're into philosophy and deep thinking and deep, meaningful conversations, this is a book for you. And then Atomic Habits rounds up the list. This was probably my least favorite. That's not to say it's a bad book or like it's not an enjoyable read, but it's self-help. It's a self-help genre. So if you don't apply the knowledge you get in here, I find it pointless to read self-help books if you're not actually going to apply the knowledge. So yeah, I will link these books down below if I can find them in like links to my favorite online bookstores. I will link them down below if they're still available. You can also follow me on my Goodreads account where I just list the books I've read in the past and what I think of them as well. And yeah, I can honestly, I'm quite excited about my current read. My current read is Love in Color. So it's a book of short stories on love. So I try and read one short story before bed each night so that I can really like ruminate on it and enjoy the book. So that's what I'm currently reading. But if you're in the market for something you haven't read before, feel free to pick up any of these books and let me know what you think, or whether you enjoyed them, whether you found them boring. Just let me know. Let me put it here. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me for another mini book review. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and be sure to join me in future book reviews. All right, thanks, guys. Bye.